Most people have a background or have heard of the Bermuda Triangle located in the western Atlantic Ocean, but many do not know that there is a similar area in the Pacific Ocean that has witnessed mysterious and strange disappearances like the Bermuda Triangle or even stranger. This area is located near the Japanese coast and is known as the Dragoness Triangle or the Pacific Bermuda Triangle, and the Japanese call it Monoyumi or the Devil's Sea. The state of confusion caused by this region after it swallowed a large number of ships and aircraft led to the emergence of many strange explanations and theories. Some suggest that the triangle contains a black hole or an entrance to another dimension or a parallel universe. Hello, I am Omar Abdin, and in this episode of Around the World, we will talk about the Devil's Sea, the Pacific Bermuda Triangle. Before we begin, if you are new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe and turn on the bell to receive our videos as soon as they are released. The exact coordinates of the Dragon's Triangle's location differ from one source to another, but most studies have indicated that the area resembles a triangle located in the Pacific Ocean, between the Japanese coast south of Tokyo and the Philippines and the Mariana Islands near the trench that bears the same name. The area of this region reaches about 800,000 square kilometers, covering a large part of the Philippine Sea. Throughout history, the Dragon's Triangle has witnessed a succession of utterly unnatural disappearance incidents, and these incidents are the only thing we can infer from. You're talking about ships or planes that entered the area and disappeared without any prior warning. But on the other hand, there are strange things associated with this place claimed by those who say they experienced them in the Devil's Sea. Some people who passed through the area and emerged safely stated that the weather there changes radically and suddenly without any reason or warning, giving them no chance to take precautions. Others claimed to see unnatural ships passing through the area with no signs of crew or passengers, calling them ghost ships. Other stories tell of electronic devices malfunctioning in the area, compasses stopping working or moving abnormally. Finally, other people claim to have experienced time contradictions in the Dragon's Triangle. Some feel that time has slowed down, while others feel that time has sped up, and that a period of their life passed without them feeling it. Of course, the initial reaction to such talk is that it is just nonsense and illogical claims. But when we link this talk to the extent of the strangeness of the disappearance incidents, matters might move from the realm of fanciful claims to possible or justified claims. Especially since Ray talking about huge ships and aircraft equipped with the latest communication devices of their era, yet they disappeared without a trace and without a single distress call. Even worse, most of them disappeared on days described as having calm weather conditions, no storms, no high waves, no reason for the ship to sink or the plane to crash. In fact, some people said that the answer to the mystery of the disappearance of Amelia Earhart, the first female aviator in history, lies in the strange atmospherics surrounding the Devil's Sea. Amelia Earhart's plane crashed under mysterious circumstances in the Pacific Ocean in 1937, and this opinion contradicts the view of some who say she was captured and executed by the Japanese. Regarding the history of when incidents began occurring in the area, we find tales from the 13th century about two attempts by the Mongols, on the orders of Genghis Khan's grandson, to invade Japan. Two invasions were launched in 1274 and 1281 AD. The troops moved in huge numbers aboard ships across the Devil's Sea on their way to Japan. Both times, it ended with the ship sinking and the death of nearly 40,000 fighters. The wreckage of the ships from the Mongol fleet is still at the bottom of the ocean in the Dragoness Triangle. On September 8, 1980, the giant cargo ship Derbyshire moved near the Japanese coast, loaded at the time with 150,000 tons of iron ore. The ship was unimaginably large, to the extent that it was twice the size of the Titanic, and its length reached 294 meters, equivalent to the length of 3 large football fields. The ship's age at that time did not exceed 4 years, meaning we are talking about a modern ship. Anyone on board would have felt reassured. But on September 9th, just one day after setting sail into the Devil's Sea, the ship and its entire crew disappeared without a trace. It was the largest British ship to disappear at sea in history. Although its crew were experienced seafarers, the ship disappeared without any distress call, as if the sea had swallowed them in a single moment without prior warning. Adding to that, 14 years after the ship sank, a research team went out in an attempt to find the wreck. They used a sonar device called a side-scan sonar, a device that moves in the depths of the ocean and sends clear images of large areas below the water surface. Indeed, the sonar, in the Devil's Sea area at a depth of 4 kilometers, captured images of what resembled the ship's wreck. But strangely, as they moved towards the location, they were surprised to find that the device had stopped working and that they had lost it in the waters as well. When they pulled up the reinforced steel cable linking the device, they found it cut in a bizarre way, as if a marine creature had bitten through it with sharp teeth. In the end, the ship's wreck was found, and the researchers said the cause of its sinking was the power of the waves. Between 1950 and 1954 AD, the Devil's Sea saw a rise and an increase in incidents of ships disappearing under mysterious circumstances. The sea swallowed 9 ships in a row without any indication of the cause of disappearance or bad weather at the time of disappearance. Of these 9 ships, only one issued a distress call. At that time, the Japanese authorities decided to intervene directly to find out the matter and how ships disappear like this. They sent the research vessel Kaiyo Maru no. 5 to take a closer look at the Dragon's Triangle and investigate the matter. Instead of the ship returning with results and answers, it ended up joining the list of ships sunk in the Devil's Sea. Strangely, all members of the ship's crew of 22 people, in addition to the 9 scientists on board, disappeared without a trace. The Japanese were unable to recover them, alive or dead. After the incident, the Japanese authorities decided to close the investigation file and not send any other ships to explore for fear of the consequences. The matter did not end here. Incidents of ships and vehicles sinking and some disappearing continued steadily in the Dragon's Triangle. The Japanese authorities issued an official warning about the dangers of the area without providing any real explanations for the incidents that occur there. The field became open to the efforts of scientists and researchers attempting to answer the riddle of the Dragon's Triangle and whether there is a real relationship between it and the Bermuda Triangle or not. Apart from the similarity of the incidents occurring in the Dragon's Triangle and the Bermuda Triangle. If you draw a horizontal line from the center of the Dragon's Triangle on its location on the whirl map in the Pacific Ocean and move it straight, you will find that the line passes directly through the heart of the Bermuda Triangle in the Atlantic Ocean. This raised some questions. Does this mean the 2 areas are connected in some way? Does it mean the reason for the repeated incidents here and there is the same? And that the 2 mysteries have the same answer? There are theories that say the Dragon's Triangle or the Devil's Sea, like the Bermuda Triangle, is one of the vile vortices spread across the Earth's surface. The term vile vortices was coined by the Scottish biologist Ivan T. Sanderson, who identified 12 areas in the world he considered vile vortices and classified these areas as sites of abnormal electromagnetic activity. Sanderson referred to these sites as graveyards due to the number of accidents that happened there. The Scotsman believes the danger of these areas is formed due to the confluence of a mixture of hot and cold air and water currents, and that the electromagnetic activity that occurs in these areas sometimes stops the operation of electronic devices and navigation tools. Sanderson claimed that these vortices not only lead to the disappearance of objects within them, but may also lead to natural anomalies or the appearance of portals to different dimensions or parallel universes. The part about portals and different dimensions is supported by more than one novelist and researcher into paranormal phenomena, including the Japanese writer and paranormal researcher Charles Berlitz. But on the other hand, a large number of scientists see these theories as nothing more than science fiction and a lack of resourcefulness from their proponents. And they offer other explanations that may seem more logical to some. One theory explaining the disappearance phenomena in the region says the cause is volcanic activity, and that the presence of a number of volcanoes near the Dragoness Triangle may be the cause of all the incidents. This is what American researcher Larry Kush suggested, revealing that the reason behind the sinking of the Japanese investigation ship Kaiyo Maru no. 5 was the eruption of the Myojinsha volcano, located on a group of volcanic islands known as the Izu Islands, Japan. This view is agreed upon by a number of scientists and researchers because volcanic activity can cause earthquakes and thunderstorms, all of which can expose ships to the risk of sinking. Another theory talks about the vast field of methane hydrates on the ocean floor, also located within the Devil's Sea area. Methane hydrates have a structure similar to ice molecules, and upon separating from the ocean floor, they turn into their gaseous form and produce bubbles that appear on the water's surface. This condition makes it difficult for ships to sail normally and exposes them to the risk of sinking. Whether you lean more towards the logical theories to explain the mysterious incidents in the Devil's Sea or prefer the theories of black holes and portals to parallel worlds, in the end, the Devil's Sea remains one of the harshest and strangest mysteries of the world's oceans. Just like the Bermuda Triangle, the Mariana Trench, and other wonders of the seas. It is possible that in the future, more convincing evidence and proofs will appear about the true explanation for the incidents that occur in these areas. Some might be more exciting than what has been presented, and some might be less exciting. But what we are sure of is that until today, with all the technological progress, the level of ships, submarines, scanners, our ability to predict the weather, and more, the seas still have no master but God. And with that, we have talked today about the Devil's Sea, the Pacific Bermuda Triangle.